That's a huge win for your Fighting Phillies, 6-2 at San Diego. They had lost 3 straight to scuffling teams that were inferior, and then they go to San Diego and they face the team with the 3rd best record in the National League, and they take care of them. And Joe Musgrove hadn't lost, 6-2. Ricky Pitalico, Ruben Amaro Jr., I'm Michael Barkan. We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. In a moment, back out to the ballpark, check in with Tom and Ben. You got to be impressed at this win.
I was impressed by the way the Phillies kept fighting in this one, and especially Ranger. I mean, early on, this game really could have teeter-tottered either way. The defense was outstanding. How about Didi Gregorius in this game with 7 assists? 7
Beautiful
assists.
Glove work.
I think there was a lot of good glove work, including Castellanos.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, it was terrific defense. It was just a well-played game. I love the way they did it, and they played great there in San Diego.
Let's bring in Ben Davis now from San Diego. And Ben, I'll go back to what I had asked you and Tommy at the top of the broadcast or end of the pregame program, which was, can you give us reason for some hope? Because on paper, it looked like the Phillies, there's no way they could have won this game going against Joe Musgrove, struggling as they did coming up the last 3 games. But they did it. What did they get done the best? What was the most important part of this win?
Well, that's why you play the game, Michael. That's why you
play the game. It's, it was a good team effort, and I just heard Ruben say it was a good team effort. Ranger Suarez was outstanding. They got timely hitting. Started, Didi got the first knock of the night to get things going there, and then that 6th inning came along. Everything just started to snowball, and this offense is combustible, like we were just talking about with JT. The defense was spectacular tonight. Other than Ranger not covering first base on the ball that was hit over Reese's head, the defense was outstanding. 16 ground balls. They made some tough plays look kind of easy. Didi was awesome at shortstop. Stott was great at second base. Bohm was very good at third base. You saw the double play that Hoskins had earlier in that ball game on that back pick. It's just doing everything right. Castellanos is a good play in right field. It was a good team effort. I think it left a little bad taste in their mouth in Texas on how they performed all around. It was offensively, they kind of stunk it up, and defensively, they stunk it up. And I think they took that, their pride was hurt a little bit, and they came out tonight with a vengeance.
Michael,
it was a good game for the Ranger.
The Ranger, it sure was.
Say hi to Dr. Jameson for us.
Enjoy that right, Doc Jameson. It's early out there.
Enjoy your
I already got my
there.
prescription.
He's going to get his prescription filled. All right, buddy. Ben Davis joining us from the booth at Petco. But when you talk about Ranger Suarez and last year and his 1.36 ERA, and I remember us talking about him like, oh yeah, this is the real thing. I mean, this is really the real thing. And then this year, we all said it. And this year it hasn't been that. Can he get that back?
You can't expect a 1.3 ERA from Ranger Suarez.
How about a 2.3?
What you can expect is for him to find himself, which maybe this is a step in the right direction. You do have to play defense behind him because he's not going to strike out the world. And what the Phillies proved tonight is that they will go out there, play some defense. You're not asking them to make the incredible plays. You're asking these guys to go out there and make the routine plays. Hey, and if you're thinking ahead once in a while, like Reese did, throw him back to second base, that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's all about being in the game, keeping your head in the game, following the baseball. You saw Castellanos get 2 or 3 good jumps on baseballs out in right field tonight. That's something we haven't seen from him all season long.
Ruben, impressions of Suarez.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is the first time that Ranger Suarez is actually pitching as a starter every single 5th day in the major leagues. That is a big deal. It's not an easy thing to do. He came out throwing the ball extraordinarily well in the bullpen last year, and then he translated that and moved in towards to the rotation and pitched really, really well. Now, for me, it's a game of adjustments, and he's starting to adjust. I think he's going to have to understand that it's a marathon. And every single time you go out there to pitch, you have to be focused. It's not an easy thing to do to be a major league pitcher and a major league starter on a team that is supposed to contend. I think he's making those adjustments. He needs to calm down a little bit. I think he was fairly calm today, and he was getting some good he was getting some good calls from Lance Barrett, which helped him a lot early on in the game. I think that calmed him down. But I think that more than anything else, he just has to control his emotions, because that's the thing that impressed me the most about him last year, is that he was very controlled and he handled himself very, very well. He needs to just chill out, concentrate, focus, pitch to pitch.
We're going to hear from Rob Thomson coming up in a few moments, but let's go to the bullpen because I'm interested here. Thompson's rationale for why he did what he did. We were watching the game, said, does Sir Anthony stay in? And you had said, no, he does not. What did you think?
No.
Hand comes in.
They don't normally go with him for 2 separate innings. He's still coming off of that elbow surgery. And I don't think you want to throw somebody out there when you're not really sure how he's going to handle it. And I really believe you're also thinking about tomorrow. If we're in this same situation tomorrow, I want to be able to use him.
Ruben, that was your point.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, again, they have to handle him with a little bit of kid gloves because of he's coming off the injury. And I'd like to have him available at least for 2 of these games in this series and maybe 3 if he's really efficient in his next game out. But I think he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He stopped the game when he needed to stop the game at the 6-2 score. And I think that was the right thing to do to bring Hand in to finish it off.
Yeah. By the way, we are now 10 games from the halfway point of the season. It's getting late early, or it's getting late, however you like to refer to it, but we're approaching the halfway point, and a win like this would seem to be really key after you lose 3 in a row to 2 slug teams.
I figure you go out to San Diego, you come home with a split, I think you should be very happy. You come home with 3 or 4, you should be ecstatic.
Musgrove is about as good as it gets right now.
Yeah.
In the majors, what was it like to watch your guys, especially for you guys who have been slumping, break out there in the inning?
No, it was good. Didi gets the double to break it up, or the base hit, and then a really good dirt ball read. And Doobie finally, one of his 100-mile-an-hour line drives gets through the infield. So that was a good start. And then the big 6th inning, Schwarber's 2-run homer, and JT opposite field. He's strong.
What did you think was the difference between the first? Obviously, they were hitless for the first 4, and then broke out in the 5th and 6th.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the tape and see if his stuff changed at all. It didn't look like it. I think we just laid some good at bats on him. And we grinded a little bit, and once we got some momentum, we just kept it, and we got some energy and just kept it and kept rolling with it.
I feel like you had a lot of guys that were kind of on some rough patches. Or Stott had been struggling, gets the double.
Yeah.
Double hit. You mentioned Castellanos was like 0 for 19.
Yeah.
He got a hit.
Yeah.
All of it kind of snowballed in that little frame.
And that's baseball. It happens, You go through stretches where you don't score, and you go through stretches where you score a lot. And it's nice to be consistent and get the 4 or 5 every night, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
How big was it to see what Ranger did tonight?
It was
Just
great.
With how long he went, and also the command was a lot.
It was great. I think it's his longest start of the year, and control command was really good. And so you can see when he throws strikes with his fastball, and he can pinpoint his fastball, the other stuff just plays out. And that's what he did tonight. He got a lot of weak contact. He gave up a couple of hard hit balls, but a lot of weak contact, and he controlled the strike zone. So it's good.
That was a tough view from where you're standing, but didn't that ball look foul?
Yeah, and you can't replay it.
Right.
So not much you can do about it. It's out of your control, so you just gotta carry on.
You mentioned JT's power earlier, before the game, talking about.
That's right. I did, didn't I?
Yeah. Nostradamus here. You're right, though. He showed a lot. Going opposite field there shows his power. Maybe this is the beginning. Snapped a streak for him.
Yeah, let's hope so. He is strong. He's a strong man.